Your wife is so hot that every man at the party hates you before you even open your mouth. She's standing across the penthouse in a black dress, laughing with a senator, wearing your diamond necklace, drinking champagne from a glass that probably costs more than someone's rent. And for one stupid second, you feel proud. Because this is the dream, right? The money, the skyline, the yacht waiting downstairs, the wife everyone stares at, the life every guy online thinks he would kill for. Then your phone buzzes. It's a text from a woman you told your wife was just a work friend. Before you can flip the phone over, your wife looks across the room and smiles. Not jealous, not hurt, not surprised. She lifts her champagne glass like she's making a toast from 30 feet away. And that's when you realize she already knows. You follow her into the bedroom, past the floor-to-ceiling windows, past the custom closet, past $2 million in watches sitting in drawers like they're socks. She is standing by the bed with a folder in one hand and your phone records in the other. No crying, no screaming, no broken glass. Somehow, that makes it worse. Then she says, "I want a divorce." And before you can say one word, she drops the folder on the bed. Photos, hotel receipts, wire transfers, yacht invoices, a jewelry charge for earrings she never got, a Miami suite you booked under your assistant's name, a message that says, "Don't let my wife see this." And suddenly, the hottest woman you ever met is not your wife anymore. She is the lead witness. You try to laugh, because rich men laugh when reality enters the room wearing stilettos. You say, "What is this supposed to be?" She says, "Everything." That is it. One word. Everything. And your brain starts doing billionaire math. The penthouse, the mansion, the beach house, the ski house, the yacht, the jet cards, the company stock, the crypto, the art, the watches, the wine collection, the cars, the trust, the accounts you remember, the accounts you hope she does not. Even the dog. You tell her, "We can be reasonable." She smiles like you just handed her a children's menu. Then she says, "I'm not here to be reasonable." And that is when you understand this marriage did not end tonight. This marriage ended months ago. Maybe the first time she saw a hotel charge and said nothing. Maybe the first time you came home from a business trip smelling like expensive perfume and panic. Maybe the first time she realized the man everyone called a genius was dumb enough to put betrayal on a company card. Tonight is not the breakup. Tonight is the reveal. The next morning, you call your lawyer from the back of a black SUV while your driver pretends not to listen. You say, "My wife wants a divorce." Your lawyer says, "Okay, do not panic." Too late. You are already panicking so hard your watch probably detects it. Then you say the dangerous part. "She has stuff." Your lawyer pauses, not a long pause, just long enough for you to feel poor. Then he says, "What kind of stuff?" You say, "Photos, texts, receipts, transfers." Another pause. Then he says, "Do not delete anything." That sentence hits you like a punch. Do not delete anything. That means the texts stay. The emails stay. The calendar invites stay. The hotel confirmations stay. The yacht invoices stay. The messages to your assistant stay. The messages from your assistant stay. The dumb little notes you sent at 1:14 a.m. because you thought money made phones private. They all stay. And now, every sentence you ever typed while feeling untouchable is waiting to be read by people in suits. But divorce court is where complicated rich guy stories go to die. Because the second lawyers get involved, the game changes. Now it is not what you say, it is what you can prove. And your wife is not asking nicely. Her lawyer sends a letter with the coldest phrase in the world: preservation of documents. It sounds boring, but it is basically a legal freeze-ray. Suddenly, you cannot delete messages. You cannot wipe laptops. You cannot lose phones. You cannot make the second phone disappear into the ocean during a very convenient boating accident. You cannot tell your assistant to clean up the calendar. The records have to stay. The mess has to stay. The evidence has to stay. And the mess is everywhere. There is the Miami trip, where you said you were meeting investors, but the only person in the suite was a woman from an art gallery who somehow became a brand strategy consultant. There is the yacht weekend you called a networking event, even though the guest list looked like a music video. There is the ski house trip, where your wife stayed home with the kids while you posted a photo of fresh powder and forgot there was a woman's reflection in the window. There is the jewelry store charge for a bracelet your wife never saw. There is the assistant's raise. There is the assistant's apartment. There is the assistant's apartment being suspiciously close to yours. You tell yourself none of this matters because you have a prenup. The prenup is your golden shield, your billionaire force field. The document you signed before the wedding, while everyone smiled and pretended love and contract law were not sitting at the same table. You remember thinking, this protects me. So you tell your lawyer, we have a prenup. And your lawyer says, good. Not great, not perfect, good. You hate that. Because a prenup is not a magic spell. It is a legal agreement. And legal agreements can become arguments. Now your wife's team is not just asking what you own. They are asking when you got it, how you paid for it, who improved it, what account funded it, whether the marriage increased it, and why every asset you want to keep somehow has a story that changes depending on who is asking. The beach house was yours before the marriage. Sure. But the renovation was paid from a marital account. The company was founded before the wedding. Sure. But the stock value exploded during the marriage. The art was an investment. Sure. But it got moved 3 days after she asked for divorce. That is not an art collection anymore. That is a suspicious parade. Then she attacks the lifestyle. And this is where it gets humiliating. You try to look financially cautious. You cancel one trip. You sell one car you forgot existed. You tell your lawyer cash flow is complicated. Not bad, never bad. Rich people do not say they are broke. They say cash flow is complicated. But your wife's lawyer does not care about your billionaire vocabulary. They pull up photos. There you are on the yacht. There you are at the Monaco Grand Prix. There you are in St. Bart's. There you are at the Super Bowl. There you are holding a giant check at a charity event while now claiming money is hard to access. There you are wearing a watch worth more than a dentist's office. There you are in a magazine saying, I don't really think about money anymore. Bad quote. Very bad quote. The judge may not be a billionaire, but the judge knows what a private chef is. The judge knows what a yacht is. The judge understands that if your dog has a trainer and your shower has a control panel, you are probably not struggling in the way normal people use that word. Then come the receipts. Champagne, sweets, drivers, security, jewelry, art shipping, boat fuel, chef invoices, private school tuition, personal trainer, interior designer, a $64,000 business development retreat in St. Bart's where no actual business was developed unless betrayal has a quarterly revenue target. Your wife's team lays it all out. This is the lifestyle. This is what the marriage looked like. This is what the kids are used to. This is what you can afford. You cannot live like a king for 10 years and then show up to court dressed like a wounded accountant. Then she goes after the company. This is the part you thought was untouchable. The company is yours, your baby, your empire, your name on the building. Your face in the founder story. You built it. You risked everything. You became the billionaire. That is what you say, and some of it is true. But she has her version. She says she moved cities for your career. She says she hosted investors at your house. She says she raised the kids while you were on planes. She says she stood beside you at every gala, every launch, every interview, every charity event, every fake family photo where everyone wore white linen and pretended nobody was miserable. She says the company did not grow in a vacuum. It grew inside the marriage. You thought money made you powerful, but money leaves tracks. Poor people make mistakes in cash. Billionaires make mistakes in wire transfers, calendar invites, corporate cards, flight manifests, insurance policies, NDAs, and assistant emails. Your life is not private. Your life is itemized. Then she presses the button that scares you more than the money. Reputation. Because she knows the one thing richer than you is the internet's appetite for watching rich people get embarrassed. She knows the reporters. She knows the gossip accounts. She knows the ex-employees who hate you. She knows the charity board that calls you inspirational. She knows that one bad headline can do what 10 lawyers cannot. She does not need to leak everything. She just needs you to believe she might. A screenshot does not need context to ruin your week. A photo does not need to be fair. A headline does not need the full story. Billionaire founder accused of hiding assets in explosive divorce is enough. Wife claims luxury yacht was used for secret affairs is enough. Court filings reveal founder's private messages is enough. By the time your statement says, "We deny these allegations and ask for privacy," everyone has already read the fun part. Now settlement starts to feel less like losing and more like buying silence. So you sit in the conference room across from her. Lawyers everywhere. Everyone has water bottles nobody drinks. She is wearing white because apparently villains understand branding. You look tired. Your lawyer looks expensive. Her lawyer looks thrilled in a very quiet way. They start listing demands. The mansion, the penthouse, the beach house for holidays. Support payments so large they sound like a military budget. Private school, staff continuity, security, travel, jewelry excluded from return, art inventory reviewed, full forensic accounting, no disparagement, confidentiality, a piece of company upside, and the dog. You interrupt at the dog. Not the company, not the mansion, not the money, the dog. She is not taking the dog. Everyone looks at you. $1 billion on the table, and this is where you become emotional. That is how divorce works. The yacht is math. The dog is war. Then your wife finally speaks. She says, "You still don't get it." You look at her. She leans forward. Same perfect hair. Same calm voice. Same diamond on her hand that you paid for and now resent. She says, "I don't need to take everything from you. I just need to make you explain everything." And that is the line that breaks the room. Because she is right. The money is not the scariest part. The explaining is. Explain Miami. Explain the suite. Explain the woman from the art gallery. Explain the assistant's apartment. Explain the yacht invoices. Explain the earrings. Explain the company card. Explain the crypto. Explain the loan to your brother. Explain the delayed bonus. Explain why your separate beach house was renovated with marital money. Explain why your calendar says client dinner when the only client was your ego. Explain why the man who built an empire suddenly cannot remember anything once the questions get specific. You thought divorce was going to be about splitting assets, but she turned it into an autopsy of your entire life. And the craziest part is, she might not get it all. The prenup might hold. The company might mostly stay yours. The judge might cut through the drama. The scandal might settle. The headlines might never happen. Your lawyers might save the empire. You might walk away still rich enough that normal people would call it winning. But you will not feel like you won. Because she already took the thing billionaires hate losing most: control. You no longer control the story. You no longer control the room. You no longer control who knows what. You no longer control whether the yacht is a yacht or evidence. Whether the assistant is an employee or a disaster. Whether the beach house is separate property or a marital money pit. Whether the company is your empire or the largest item in a divorce spreadsheet. And all of it started with the fantasy, the super hot wife, the penthouse, the yacht, the parties, the private jet, the watch drawer, the silk robe, the champagne, the life every stranger envied from the outside. You thought you married the dream. But dreams do not keep screenshots. Dreams do not hire forensic accountants. Dreams do not sit across from you in a white dress, smile at your lawyer, and ask for the house. You thought she was your trophy wife, but trophies do not testify. And by the time you realized the most dangerous asset in your mansion was the woman sitting across from you at breakfast, she is already reaching for the keys.